it was a classic 1976 bicentennial year, and we did a cross-country tour from, I lived in Pittsburgh, and we came to Disneyland and did all the things, like the Old Faithful and the whole thing. And I remember coming here as a kid, and when that's when we were talking about this before, Ryan and I were talking about this, there were tickets, like e-tickets, the e-ticket rides were like the big rides. Well, one of the e-ticket rides was Pirates, and I remember going on it and loved it so much because it felt like you were in a film. When you go into that one moment where it opens up, and you have the big ship, and you feel like, wow, I'm in the movie. And, so it's surreal for me to think that, now I've made it.
Did you have those feelings where those memories came back when you were shooting the film?
You do. I mean, what's funny about making a Pirates film, or any kind of action adventure, I guess, is that it's an adventure as well, making it. Because you're going to all these locations. For us, because there was 3D involved, we were bringing in these huge 3D rigs, which is actually, we're sort of pioneers in that way. Because not many movies have actually taken 3D equipment into real locations, stages and green screen and that kind of thing. But we were taking them into caves and into waterfalls and jungles and swamps, and it was pretty amazing. So we were experiencing an adventure while we were also making an adventure. It was great.
What made you want to do this film in 3D?
Well, the reason for 3D was, for me, it has to be something that a world that you need to enter. Otherwise, if you're doing like an emotional drama, there's no point really, in a way. But if you're creating a world, there's nothing like immersing yourself in the. Thank you, Mark Twain, Mr. Mark Twain. But there's this, you can be inside the world of the pirates, and there's nothing like that. You can actually be experiencing the journey of the adventure with Jack Sparrow, with him. And so it's really cool for this movie specifically to be in 3D.
Did you put any nods from the ride into your film?
We did. There's two. I won't tell you which one. But it was fun, right before, when I started this at the beginning of the year, we came here, just like we did this morning, before anybody arrived. And we went on the ride, and we were the only ones in there, and they stopped the ride for us. And I got out and walked around, specifically in the area that we're recreating, so we could get a look real sort of up close with my production designer, John Meyer, and my creative partner, John DeLuca. We were in there sort of looking around and sort of, it was really cool. It's really cool. So anyway, there's two pieces where there's not many left. It's like there's nothing we're gonna do. But we found a cool couple of those things.
Is this going to have a different look than the previous Pirates film, like a look and tone?
Well, you know what I mean. Listen, Jack Sparrow's in the film, so obviously there he is, and his hair's a little blonder. But no, you know what? The story takes us to different places, which actually makes it nice because it's not just sort of the same old thing. The whole opening, the first third of the film is in London, and so we start on dry land, and it's and there's an imposter, and Jack's looking for this imposter, and he escapes from the palace. He gets captured by King George, and there's a huge carriage chase. And there's all kinds of fun stuff in London. Then we set sail. And that's sort of the second act, and it's a new ship. It's Blackbeard's ship, Queen Anne's Revenge. And then Barbossa has a new ship called the Providence. And then the third act is this incredible jungle adventure, which should be in Adventureland because it's like through caves, and they're looking for the Fountain of Youth. And so that's a whole different. So it's nice as there's some variety to sort of the story that which is great.
Was there an adjustment that you had to make as a director to kind of come on to a big franchise like this and do a film like this?
Well, you inherit some things, and so you sort of make peace with that. But I found that great. I mean, the reason I did this film and the reason, I love this film is two words: Johnny Depp. I mean, he's the greatest. He's a brilliant actor, as we all know, a genius. But he's also the nicest person in the world. You want to spend time with him. He's hilarious and warm and a gentleman and elegant. The best. So that made it such a treat. And I'd always wanted to do an adventure, an action adventure. I come from choreography, from Broadway, and that's where I started. So I love movement, and I love sort of choreographing big sequences like this. And so that was really, I felt it was very natural for me to be doing action adventure.
You
He
mentioned
wants to know, is it going to be a musical? I was like, no. No.
you mentioned working. You
No,
mentioned
that would be bad.
You mentioned working with Johnny Depp. He's got that role nailed down so well at this
Yes,
point.
yes.
Was there a lot of flexibility to kind of work with it and sort of
Yes, I mean,
make
he-
adjustments?
You know, he actually asked me to do this film, so I think he really wanted. You know, he's an actor. He really wants guidance, and even when he knows this character so well, I mean, I'm smart enough to know. You know, you let him do what he does. He's so brilliant at it. But like any actor, they want guidance and want to know, and he's a real collaborator in that way. And it was fun because, you know, in addition to Jeffrey Rush, who's back as Barbossa, although his character's different in this film, because he's joined a different side. He now works for the king, which is really shady. But then, really shady. But then, you know, with Penelope Cruz as the first female pirate, you know, you have a whole other side of Jack. I mean, there's a real competitor there. There's a love-hate thing. They try and kill each other the entire film. and then Blackbeard is probably the most evil character, most evil villain there's been in the series. I mean, he's unbelievable. Ian McShane plays him, and he's extraordinary. And then you have these two young actors that are fantastic. One is Sam Claflin, who plays a missionary, and he's on the ship with Blackbeard. And then there's a mermaid.
How difficult was it to make the transition for Jeffrey Rush's character from one side of the law to the
He
other?
loved it. You know, he's an actor's actor. Loves it, loves it, loves it. He was so excited to do something different and unique. You know, he loved it. And I mean, Barbossa's under there, believe me. But he loved playing a whole other color. It was great for him.
I imagine
Last
all the
question,
women in Hollywood were dying to play the first female pirate. So was
Yes.
Penelope Cruz always the one for you?
Well, I was doing a movie called Nine in London, and when I asked her to do it, we went to dinner. And I wasn't sure, because I thought, well, you know, it has to be someone who can really go toe-to-toe with Johnny. So they have to be funny, and they have to be sexy, and they have to be strong, and they have to, you know, and you start thinking about who is that, and they're not many. They're not many, and I thought, Penelope would be so perfect. And I had asked Johnny, before I asked Penelope, they had done a movie called Blow together, and I, you know, he loved her. And Jerry Bruckheimer loved the idea of Penelope, so I asked her, and we were at dinner. She jumped out of her. I was like, Penelope, we're in a restaurant, but I mean, jumped out of her. She was so excited. She's like, I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to play in action. So, you know, and that there she was, you know, fencing and fighting and amazing and pregnant.
What's your favorite ride in the park?
Thank you guys.
My favorite ride has always been Pirates.
All right.
It always has, hand to God. It's the one postcard I bought when I was 15. You know, we could buy one postcard. Not like today when you like, that was it. I go, it was Pirates.
If you could finish the sentence, Johnny Depp is
The best.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Take care.